Welcome back to another episode of Pauly's Perspective, where I am unboxing some of the coolest collectibles, this one being one of my all-time favorites by SH Figuarts. Is it Figuarts or Figuarts? We don't know, but it looks great, and I can't wait to get into it. It is their 1/12 scale Batman 89 design. I could not be more excited to take a look at this toy. This, of course, is the movie that started it all for me as the big bat nerd that I am. Today, still, with Michael Keaton's Batman, Tim Burton's movie, of course. This box looks so awesome to me, and it's the first time that I've ever seen them put a little window to the figure itself on the back of the box. I think that adds a really nice dimension to the entire thing. So awesome. If I was a kid seeing this on a shelf, I would cry until my mom let me buy it. But, now like I'm a big guy, so, I can buy my own things. It's great. If you're looking to pick this guy up, you can get it at Toys Wonderland. The link, of course, is in my description box below. Starting with this box, I absolutely love the matte black finish with the shiny layered symbol right here. Of course, the classic Batman 89 symbol. You really can't beat this logo for me. It's probably still my favorite Batman logo. I love the texture in the design of the original suit. Like, this photography, of course, is incredible. I love the feel of the box here. On the sides, it has the title itself with the classic logo. The back, of course, with the actual figure sticking out of the window here, which is so cool because you can actually see what you're getting, and I think that's a really great choice. Of course, the same note: small parts not for children under 3. Don't put it in your mouth, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who does that anyways, but nobody's buying a toy like this for their 3-year-old. This is adult property, should be taken care of and displayed and played with by yourself in your room, okay? The other side, still the title. I love how official this whole box looks. Just incredible. Love the classic logo on the top, all a nice matte finish, and Batman himself on the bottom. The artwork on the box is awesome. I love the photography, as always, where they use the figure itself and they photograph it in clever action poses. Of course, it looks like it handles very well with the accessories that comes with it. I can't wait to get to opening it.
Let's do it.
And here are all the fun accessories that this figure comes with. Why I'm so excited about this is because all of them are from my favorite parts in the actual movie itself. Like this contraption right here. I have no idea what to even call it. I'm not going to pretend to know. I just think it looks amazing. The paintwork is so cool. I love the gold and the silver. The contrast is amazing with the black. This is an awesome arm piece that will keep it on the figure as well. I think that's nice and tight for making sure it stays on the figure. Look at the detail, even the small circles right down to the ridges within whatever the heck these things do. I don't think they open. Oh my gosh, they open. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what happens in the movie. How accurate. Probably the most excited about this accessory right here. In case you can't tell. Wow. Can't wait to try that on him. Let's take a look at the other cowl here. Classic Michael Keaton open mouth lip thing, whatever you want to call that. I love how accurate it looks. The cowl shape is so cool. I love the detail here in the neck. This design here that the cowl has itself. So classic. Very Kermit the Frog, but looks much better in black and on Batman, I think. The eyes themselves, from afar, they look pretty cool. It's still cool because Michael Keaton has those light eyes. I still think that, it could be a little bit more detailed, but I truly am not mad at it. I enjoy all the little details in the eyebrows of the cowl, and how sharp all of the edges are. The bat ears are awesome, nice and sharp too. And look at the contouring in the collarbone here and where the neck meets the actual cowl's base. Very, very well done. And I love this here. You see this? It's got that definition to the top of the cowl that pretty much makes the entire face. Probably my favorite cowl of all of the Batmans. Next, of course, we have a series of hands to play with. I love the studding on them. I didn't realize that these were on the costume itself in the movie, but this is a nice touch for the figure. My favorite have to be these ones right here that have the triangle guard on the hands, which is when he's being attacked by that blade slinger. And then we have the Grapnel Gun. It looks incredible. Look at this. Again, the gold and the silver contrast with the detail in the gun. Look at this. right in the middle and everything. They have the ridges and the actual mechanics. Very impressive. This classic part right here, I'll never forget that too. That was in all of the 80s toys. And then, of course, we have the classic Batarang, which has all the proper detailing, the ridges and the actual bat ears, the bottom that matches the entire ensemble. Very cool, very practical. Seems like it would be easy for the figure itself to hold it with the series of hands they've given us. This is like one of the coolest trademark things that the 89 Batman had. This type of Batarang. You know, it's the first time you see something like a boomerang in a bat shape, and then this guy uses it so well, it's like incredible. Like, what even is it? And it just became like huge in pop culture. It then also comes with these little ninja stars. Again, very detailed, sharp. The gold and the silver contrast, I think, is still incredible for this theme, and it's a nice little touch. And here's the legend himself. I love that it comes with the cape already. Not many figures come caped, but I love the presentation with this. The cape itself is a nice soft leather. I love that it's leather, number one. I do love the ribbing, but it is still an interesting choice of material for the cape because it falls nicely, but it's still not as, I think, practical as, you know, what the actual cape would have been. Around the cowl, I do love this matte finish, and the definition of the eyebrows and the cowl are really fantastic. But in the actual movie, the suit itself has some texture on the cowl. You know, they shot it in 89, you know, so, or it would have been 88 when they're shooting it. So it had, you know, some evident, you know, wear and tear and texture characteristics to it. And the cape, of course, was a finer leather. As far as the inside of the cape, you know, you can see it's a typical material that way, so it's not as flattering on the inside, but it does come with these two handles that nicely fit into the hands they have here so that he can open up with the classic Batman shape. We're going to do that properly in just a minute, but let's take a look at the body here first. The body itself, again, it's a nice material. I love that it's smooth, but it still would have been nice to see that leather texture that is on the actual suit. But this still, as far as mobility goes, just the upper half of his torso moves. I love the symbol, of course. See the double points at the bottom of this bat logo? I love this because this is exactly what it looks like in the actual movie, whereas the logo itself does not have these 2 points. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but the bat symbol, even on the box of this figure, does not have these 2 extra points here. And I've always noticed that even as a kid, where the logo looked exactly like this, but all of the branding and marketing for the logo we all know the most does not have those points. So I always thought that was interesting. As far as points of articulation here, you can pretty easily move the arms. It seems to be very durable. It doesn't seem too fragile, which is fantastic. There is a little bit of a space here with the arms. Like, come on, you're not going to give this guy a wrist? Why not? You know? But he's Batman. It's all right. He'll figure it out. Both sides, the legs themselves too. Lots of mobility. Great for posing, I think. Even in the knees. See, they got the armor down to a T. These boots as well, fantastic. These shoes were actually Nikes. Michael Keaton actually wore just spray-painted black Nikes underneath this shielding of a boot. They did like a makeshift boot for him, and it looks like they replicated it beautifully with this figure as well. I mean, you can't tell. You would never think these are Nikes, but when you take a closer look at them, it's definitely something interesting to know. I love the color of this belt, the utility belt. It's a nice matte yellow, but it's a darker yellow, like a mustard yellow. Different from the logo itself. This pops nice and bright, which I love. But the belt here perfectly complements the rest of the figure. And see underneath. Sorry, Batman, we're going to have to take a look at your butt. See, the back is still cool. I mean, there's nothing too crazy here as far as detail goes. But, you know, the classic bat butt that we were shown mostly in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Well, we don't need to talk about those disasters. We're just going to talk about the only good Tim Burton Batmans that there were. This detail is fantastic on the gloves, even though he's still got no wrist. You can see right through it. These are nice and sharp. even the structure, the muscular structure of the arm. It's perfect to the body type that Michael Keaton has as well. See, I've always loved the classic abs on this figure. This costume is my personal favorite of the Michael Keaton Batmans. The Batman Returns figure that has like the panels as the abs, I never really liked. I thought that it kind of took away from the suit. This just always looks way better to me. The belt does move a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. Nothing that ruins the flow of the character, that's for sure. And of course, the cowl. Again, the eyes are classic Michael Keaton eyes. You know, the detail could be a little bit sharper, but when you look at it from afar, it really still looks like he's got, you know, crystal clear blue eyes. And it fits the face. Everything looks proportionate. Like I said, it's lightweight. So I love how posable it is. Compared to the Dark Knight Batman DX edition for the Dark Knight trilogy, this figure has way more mobility. Even though it is a plastic structure, whereas the Dark Knight Batman was more of a spongy doll-like material, this still looks fantastic and I think really gets the job done nicely. I wanted to show you that the pegs that the hands are on are quite delicate, but they seem to come off pretty easily. This is what they look like. Compared to Soap Studios' DX edition of The Dark Knight, their pegs were very fragile. I find these to be much more sturdy, snap on and off much more easily and safer, it seems. I've put one of them on already. This was a little bit difficult to slide into the hand, but it is nice and snug. We're trying to get this cape working to its best potential. But this is great because we can do so many action poses with this. Look at this. What I do love about this cape is that the texture is stiff enough to be able to keep and hold shape that looks pretty awesome. Like if I were to photograph this from behind and make it as if he was flying in, that's awesome. Even like this, looks pretty sick. When the cape's all fanned out like this, I am still a fan of this cape. Like it's not the most ideal cape, but it definitely works for this figure. This is just cool. We'll just play like this for a bit, you know. I'm kidding, because that's not a sound that Batman makes. I'm gonna throw him on the rotator, and we're gonna try to get some great shots out of this. Let's see what it looks like. So this right here is one of the most classic poses that you can see this figure in. Of course, this is what I do love this cape for. The span is just incredible, and it really captures the essence of Michael Keaton's Batman. The arms are surprisingly way more sturdy than they look, and they hold their form when you place them that way. So this Batman's been doing his bicep curls and his shoulder presses, and I think he's gonna be all right. Pretty good for not having any wrists. And here we have him on the rotator. I absolutely love the way he looks. Shockingly, this figure is standing on its own. Okay, it doesn't come with a stand, which just shows the overall balance of the figure. Look at the side view of this. As you see this right here, I love that shape and texture. So dramatic and still classic and true to the form of this Batman. Even from behind, it looks like a regular cape, and you still see the wingspan, and it's still pretty impressive. Look at that. I'm really enjoying this. I can watch this for another 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm enjoying this very much. There's so many cool things you could do with it. Look at that. Look at that. I should start the whole video with this. So I figured out what this is called. It's the gauntlet, for whatever reason. And it fits very nicely on the forearm here. You can get some great shots out of it. Another awesome thing I noticed about this figure is the detail on the bottom of the shoe. Look at that. They really didn't miss a thing. Incredible. It's just every aspect of this is classic. So I just tried putting the triangle guards on. I love these hands, much like the movies, but this pose ain't working for you, Batman. It's like you're doing a show tune. Come in the money, come in the money. I'm not singing it right, and those aren't the words. But this isn't the pose I'm going for, so we're gonna make this look a little bit cooler.
No more pictures.
In conclusion, I have to say that my 10-year-old self would be doing backflips right now if he knew that I had possession of such a wonderful figure. So if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn those post notifications on. I will be sharing many more YouTube shorts as well. And I would love to hear your feedback about what you think about the figure, what you love about it, what you don't like about it. So once again, thank you so much for geeking out with me on Pauly's Perspective. I will see you in the next video. Will I? Will I see you in the next video? I may not see you at all. I mean, you're going to see me, but I may not see you, but you know what I mean, all right? So just subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and, you know, we'll be all right.
Don't stop, can't stop, don't stop, can't stop, don't stop, 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 stop. Don't stop.